All right. Good morning, good evening, good night. Just forget about what I just did. We are having ourselves a great episode on NFT Live. Cut. We are going to be talking a lot of news, which was pretty much breaking this morning. I had to change the thumbnail 3 or 4 times. It felt like because we had back-to-back announcements by some big projects. Had a great GM Web3 morning show with Ghxsts, and we are excited to get off and running here. We see you on Twitch, by the way. Let me get to my man Persk. Hopefully I'm saying that. We see you out on Twitch. We appreciate you. OVOT means our vibe, our tribe. It is the calling card of our community here. It is our ethos. Mike Erlinson is saying, any chance we can get your thoughts on a kid called Beast? I'd love to cover it. Hash Rhymes Donar, thank you for showing up early here on NFT Live. We do these daily at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Directly after GM Web3 Morning Show over there on Twitter Spaces, GIF is coming from that episode. Just throughout, a lot of great topics, a lot of good conversations. So I just want to give you...
All three of us are. Y'all were all in there participating. It's not just me coming over from GM Web3. Y'all were... That's, y'all are hosting. Anyway, it was great. It was honestly... fantastic conversations. A lot of stuff to talk about. I was very impressed by our co-hosting contributors showing up, bringing all kinds of alpha and really just great points. I don't know. It's again, if you're not joining us on Twitter for GM Web3, we do it 4 days a week, kind of like we do here because we're over there before we come here to NFT Live. Monday through Thursday, you can catch us on Twitter starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's 11 a.m. if you're over there on the weird side of the country. But yeah, man, the conversations just get better and better.
All right, we just started here again on today's episode. We appreciate you guys showing up. Listen, I have never heard Ghxsts, and I have never heard Ghxsts actually give Ronan as much credit as he did before this episode. Totally botched the fact that Ronan wasn't actually on today's episode. He let me know. Like, what? So I didn't open my Discord. He messaged me this morning, but I hadn't opened my Discord. So I had all the tweets out. I got all that stuff, and then I opened Discord. I was like,
well, you know what? All of those good things, I take it all back. Ronan is an evildoer. He is an absolute maniac, just absolutely wreaking havoc across the whole Web3 space. Not to be trusted. That Ronan the Collector, watch out for him.
Yeah, you'll have to say all this when he's on tomorrow because he just pushed himself back one day. So we will see Ronan the Collector tomorrow, but I am sitting here with Ghxsts and Biggie Poppins. Biggie, love the hat, first of all. Can't wait to get into that convo, man. You've been on a roll this week, and I love to see it. How are you doing today, my man?
Dude, I'm doing good. I just have to ask both of you, did you mint dick pics? I fucking did. For the lulz, come on, just feet.
I can't even click into this.
Quality.
I don't want to get banned.
Yeah.
Like as somebody who has talked a lot about feet pics and promoted it and actually made money flipping some feet pics, I can't hate that much on this, right? Like I'm in no place to really be, kink shaming or NFT shaming people. So, do what you got to do, Biggie. If this is what tickles your pickle.
Well, maybe we can give some of these away to some of our lovely listeners. Want a dick pic from me, pixelated art, not an actual one. Don't get fucking thrilled about this. I would very much love to send you one. So
if you want a pixelated dick pics from Biggie Poppins, we will figure out how to give you that. We actually have a couple giveaways to figure out. Again, it's tough to do these live when we have this amount of quantity, but we have to get to them. We were giving away based heads, so we need to get to that. I will say.
I have to say real quick, again, I feel like every once in a while we have these moments in the space where we just take a step back and appreciate what we get to do here every day. It's just some of the things that we say to each other on a day-to-day basis is absolutely absurd. And the fact that this is what I'm doing with my life, talking about Biggie's dick pics NFTs that he's going to be sending you.
And Poopy's announcement on
and
Doodles.
Poopy's announcement. Yeah, it's just, you know what? God bless this space. And God bless every one of you.
Smurf Dev saying, morning, everyone. Awake in big time. Nox Darkness saying, OVOT, hi from the kitchen. What are you making today, Nox? I want to know. Because I don't know if you can top garlic no.
What's you cooking up, bro? What's you cooking, Knox?
I don't think we can.
That should be a segment. Yo, we've got the bag check segment now with NFTGO. We got to have a Knox Darkness, what's cooking segment or something every day. So, anyway, where are we at, Q?
I'm trying to get us on track here. We have NFT live tweet. If you guys could help us out by retweeting and liking this tweet, we'd appreciate it very much. No community topic today. I will do the community topic tomorrow. We have way too much stuff on the actual dashboard here to go over. So I don't know if we can even get to a community topic. Our biggest topic for today is going to be Doodles and Doodles 2 going to be launching on Flow. That announcement came this morning from that team, that project. So essentially they're betting big on Flow. Flow's got a huge W here by landing one of the bigger projects in the NFT PFP space. We will get to that topic in a sec.
Well, they're really stealing the thunder from the gang over here. I thought Gutter Cat was going to be the biggest topic of the day, but no, apparently Doodles 2 on Flow is more important.
Yeah, but it feels like, and that's our secondary topic, right? And to your point, like it's already a secondary topic, and it was supposed to be this big announcement for Gutter Cat. I feel like the Gutter is not getting love, man, and they made this big attempt to kind of put out that we're changing, we're doing Gutter 2.0, and not much reaction from the community.
They tried to rebrand like Marty McFly this year. It's not taking.
Yeah, leave a like to find the old Marty. We're still on the lookout for this guy. He comes out every once in a while. Last housekeeping item here that I can think of is that we have... Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, no. So what's supposed to be on my screen here, let me see if I can find it. What's supposed to be on my screen, is that we are on all podcasting platforms now. So as you can see, and shout out to Jacob.
Fucking Jacob, man. What a man. Badass, dude. Love you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jacob, you're absolutely killing it. He's getting out 2 episodes a day. So we do 2 episodes a day, as we've said, every day for the last, 6 months or 3 months. That we do 2 episodes a day. Now you can find these on audio platforms. So this is Spotify, because I am a Spotify user. I'm not getting into that debate. But you can see NFT Live yesterday is already out. The Web3 Morning Show will be out in a couple hours. And then this NFT Live will actually be live in a couple hours as well. So huge flowers to Jacob there. And we are finally on podcasting platforms.
New utility, who this? Extending the life of all of this great content and all the
evergreen GIF.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm stoked to see it because we spend a lot of time putting together these conversations, curating interviews, or just talking about all the different news and headlines. And especially on like Twitter, it doesn't have a long shelf life. It's kind of like there and it's gone. Now you can subscribe or follow us on Spotify or Apple, iTunes, or any of these other podcast networks that this goes out to, and you can listen whenever on those platforms. Take us on the road. Take us on a jog. I don't know, wherever you want to go.
Take our dick pics on the road. We're leaning into that too much. Okay, is Squashman here? I would love to talk to Squashman because this man led a Degened life in the last 24 hours. I just want to point that out, but I would like him to be here. So Squash, if you're
Degened
here,
masterclass. Yeah.
Oh my God, that dude was literally just on the front line, straight up living a Degened masterclass. So we will talk about that, but I would like to wait for him. I see you in the chat. Nox Darkness saying sun-dried tomato and pesto cream sauce, sun-dried tomato sausage and fettuccine. Jesus,
that sounds delightful, my friend.
I'm gonna need to get that someday. Okay, Marty McFly says, I'm with Biggie. So this topic came up at the end of the GM Web3 Morning Show. I would love to, kind of rehash this topic and talk a little bit more about it. And he says, I'm with Biggie on the proof conference style type. Take. Okay, take. So I see that. So we're going to talk about that.
Marty. Where did Marty go? Is that you? I appreciate it, my brother.
Yeah, we never know which Marty's going to show up these days. Yesterday, he came in hot as the old Marty. I don't know who you are. This is turning into an abusive relationship, Marty. Who are you?
Okay, so Squashman is in the house, and this is the last piece of housekeeping, I swear. We are getting to quick news and then our big topics of the day, Doodles and Gutter Cat Gang. But Squashman proceeded to tell us that he set his alarm for 3 a.m. last night. and correct me if I'm wrong here on any part of this story, Squash, it is yours. He said his 3 a.m. alarm, because that was when Porsche was going to cut their supply. So he ended up buying into that piece of news, essentially, ended up waiting a little while for that to go up.
Playing Dookie Dash in the meantime.
There's the second Degened part. He played Dookie Dash while he waited for the market to react to this cut in supply.
Multitasking productivity NFT. Like a fucking Degened. Hell yeah, Squashman.
And then he sold them. He sold them for a profit. He made like 0.5 ETH, and then he went back to bed.
Yo, these are the stories of our culture that we enshrine here on NFT Live as part of the lore of our whole movement, and that is a legendary Degened move, absolute masterclass. We love to see the homies making bags that way, and it's I think at one point he was trying to be humble and be like, yeah, maybe I just got lucky. We're like, nah, bro, that's skill. That's like knowing the game well enough to pull something off like that. Like, yo, you've been doing it long enough. You know what's up.
And none of us pulled that move in the middle of that. Yeah.
None of us pulled that move. Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, so we are getting off and running. Thank you guys for tuning in wherever you are tuning in. If you're on audio afterwards, we appreciate you guys. If you're catching us on the road, on the fly, thank you so much for tuning in. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We appreciate all of you, our Vibe, our tribe. Please leave a like on today's episode. And if this is your first time here, we are covering the NFT and Web3 space all week with great creators here on the channel. So it would be awesome if you could hit that subscribe button. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We're jumping into NFTGO. We did have, let me make sure I got this right. We did have a DickPix kind of launch, and we'll get to those trending mints here in a second. I don't know how that one's doing, Biggie. But we're going to get into the market overview. Sentiment, I think it's holding there at 26. Traders, 30-day in profit. We're still in losses. Can't wait till that flips green. That might be an indicator there. When that flips green, you might be worried. I don't know if that's a good indicator. Blue chip index, it's kind of holding over the last 7 days here. You got a little bit of a dip if you zoom out to 30 days. We're down in ETH volume, but likely still up in USD. Market cap in volume, saw a lot of volume here pick up over the last day. This is just January 25th today. So we saw a lot of volume there. USD, not as much. Who's opening a chocolate bar?
Sorry, I thought I was muted. Yeah, I don't get to eat during GM Web3s. This is when I gotta get my food going. Sorry.
Okay. All right. We're important here. In the last 24 hours, we see sewer passes up there at the top. Doodles, though, coming in at number 3 in total volume. Porsche 911 we covered yesterday. That's coming in top 5. And then Duplicators, part of that Doodles ecosystem as well, in the top 10, coming in at number 9. So we talked about, and we are going to talk about those two projects, Gutter Cat Gang and Duplicators. It looks like there's a little bit of positive, at least volume from the Doodles announcement. Not so much from the Gutter Cat Gang announcement, which will be part of our discussion. But anything that stand out there to you guys over on the NFTGO side before we hop into mints?
Nah, looking good. Calm waters.
All right. So
I want to know. Wait, Biggie, is DickPix still minting? Because I'm actually thinking I might mint one now. Is it still minting?
I knew it. Hurry up. There's about 4,077 out of 4,243. So almost minted out. I'll link
What's the website?
I'll send you the link here. It's called censorkicks.xyz.
If you guys want to get involved in this, I mean, this is not financial advice. Nothing is. This definitely is not financial advice. I also cannot open this. I don't want to see what's on the other side and get banned by YouTube here.
Yeah, they're pretty graphic, but that's what made me mint them. Where I was like, look, if FeedPix took off, if the crypto bro army is strong enough to pull this off, this could be another fun little quick ride to the top, and then I don't know, probably will go limp, but they're funny. I picked up a few just for the lulz. I figured GIF might be into it. I'm glad you're coming around, GIF.
I mean, this man was the original FeetPix minter, so he's in this weird. I don't know how phallic he wants to get.
The fetishes, right?
Yeah.
Like, GIF is the man of the fetish.
I would like that to stick. Squashman is saying that is correct. So he is Squashman's here saying that is correct. I saw the Jarritos cut supply to 777. He's talking about basically jumping in on the Porsche there when they decided they wanted to cut supply. That seems like a good strat. Like going forward, obviously it worked here for Squashman and the Porsche drop. But when a project wants to cut supply, maybe it's a time to get in. Maybe you can catch a quick flip. All right. I'm jumping back in here into NFTGO. I don't see DickPix on this list. This is by 1 hour, so I'm going to switch out to 24.
Biggie, it's official. I now owned my own dick, is what it says. Congrats. Congrats. You now owned your own dick, which doesn't really make any sense.
Hold on.
Clearly, this is a high-quality project that people spent a lot of time on.
Are they revealing? Are they revealed?
Yeah, they're immediately revealed, and you can sift through them like on like the most rare. And kind of funny. And from what I understand, like again, like no DYOR or anything really. Like I just saw them, I was like, oh, by the
I'm so
community.
concerned.
I was like, let's do it again. I want to be on board.
That this is like a fucking scam and people are gonna get drained off of it. I'm so concerned with promoting some.
I don't see them on NFTGO.
If we're not promoting it, like we said, this is just for fun. But going back to previous episodes when we've talked about like memes and how some people try to manufacture them or ride the wave of another meme. This is exactly that, right? This is like people trying to ride the FeetPix meme, see if they can do it again. It's by the community of the FeetPix people. And so let's see. It's for fun. It is totally not financial advice. If you lose your $10, $20 that you put into it, do not come crying to us.
Seriously. That's the truth right there. Okay, I'm going to get into sales in the last 24 hours here. I don't see DickPix on this list just yet, but I do see FeetPix. So FeetPix are still doing well for whatever reason. FeetPix right here coming in at 11. All right, I want to look at the rest of this list here, fellas. So this is trending on NFTGO's website. ArtBlocks is trending. Toshies, Porsche 911, and I think Squashman keeps bringing it up.
My lord, man.
Yeah. So again, original mint price, which we were calling them out for, was 0.9. So obviously they cut supply into like what, a fourth of what the original supply was supposed to be. So maybe it's reacting to that. Proceed with caution. We've been talking about this. 0.39 at this point.
Insane, man.
Neon balloons. We've been talking about. Based heads making the list in the top 10.
Dude. Of course.
And then Porsche NFT coming in at 7. Yeah, funny. Porsche.
Another meme attempt, right? Another attempt at doing the wave, right? Which we'll be talking about.
So we didn't cover Toshies. Gabe had got into Toshies. I don't know. We don't like have to spend any time if we don't want to, but Toshies, like any thoughts on Toshies? I haven't looked at it at all.
I tried. I had several allow list spots. I was in the Discord. When they said 70% over allocation, I just knew that I was going to have one shot at maybe getting one. And of course, the fucking Degens out there, like I was seeing some ridiculous people, like people paying like 0.8 for one. Mostly gas. Mind you, this thing was like 0.03. I understand it's like a renowned artist, CCO, it's that meta. They look pretty cool, but man, I think it was botted to death. Let's see what happens. Are they revealed already? I don't think they are.
I don't think they are either. I was worried that Ghxsts was pulling up DickPix to OpenSea. It's actually Toshies.
I thought about pulling it up, and then I thought better. I don't know if y'all want to see my DickPix right now or not, but it is revealed. So if you want to go check out Gifted and check my wallet for some DickPix, I now have a DickPix NFT. I'm so proud to say that. All right, so this is what I think is interesting about the Toshies. OpenSea is rolling out their own launchpad. Toshies is one of the first projects, as far as I can tell, to be launched through the OpenSea Launchpad program. And so this page that I had pulled up here, this is something that I hadn't seen before until the Toshies. This is like a collection website on OpenSea for the collection. And it's very similar to what you've seen on FX Hash for Tezos and on Magic Eden with like their Launchpad, right? So it's like you basically have a whole website, a whole other website about this collection and their partnership here on OpenSea. And then, you click through to the collection and then you've got the normal collection page. But so I thought this was really interesting. What this was obviously promoted really heavily all over the OpenSea front page. Like, I'm curious if it's still, it had a whole giant banner. I'm sure it'll be, on here somewhere if we like scroll through. But like all yesterday, it was like basically taking over the whole front page of OpenSea. And so clearly there's a partnership here. If I had to guess, I'm guessing that what Toshies did is they kind of sold their soul in a way. Basically, said, yes, we will opt into using OpenSea's smart contract and be stuck in your ecosystem with this community in return for promotion and getting to, the advantage of using your marketplace's new Launchpad platform. That's what I'm guessing is happening. I don't have all the details yet. But again, if you want to check that out on the Toshies collection page, if you go to view drop details, that's where you can see what this looks like. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to touch on this yesterday. We didn't get to it, so I'm happy we're touching on it today. I do think this is really interesting because I'm sure we're going to see more of these partnerships and more collections being dropped basically by OpenSea into their own platform through their Launchpad.
Interesting conversation there to be had. Let me see if I can take us back here. Do we like OpenSea launching a Launchpad? In my opinion,
it happened last year, right? Or at least like they did a trial run last year with the music NFT, OMG Kirby, I believe it was, which turned out pretty well. Not like this one that was like a complete gas war. But I mean, I think that's the decision of the project, not OpenSea's. But to Gif's point, I think it's smart. I mean, whatever you may think of OpenSea, it does have a lot of visibility. So it's like, as far as the marketing front, it's ridiculous.
I just don't like it because I don't want to support OpenSea, but yeah,
it's smart. It's smart from a business perspective for OpenSea and whatever artists are selling out and getting money doing this. So I think it's smart for them as a business. As a collector, that's a whole other thing, right?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
We all know, like, one of the things that real collectors want is decentralized assets that they can actually own that aren't going to be reliant on a centralized marketplace. And so somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. This is a whole new, feature of OpenSea. And so I'm not 100 on this. So please, again, if you've got more details, put it in the comments and correct us. Let us know if we're wrong. But assumption
you don't know everything, Gif?
No. So my assumption here, though, is that the reason OpenSea wants to do this is they trap these communities and these assets on their contract and in their platform. That is good for them as a business. But again, what that means to you as a collector is that if anything were to happen to OpenSea, like, you're at their mercy, right? And if anything happened, this asset may go with OpenSea, or you don't actually have full autonomy or ownership of this asset. That's not great. So
we get
for a collector, well, yeah, that's what I'm asking. If somebody can find that, please let us know. If you can look into the contract details, but I would bet it's using an OpenSea proprietary smart contract. I would bet. Like,
it doesn't allow it to be traded on other platforms. Is what
not that necessarily, but that it is somehow reliant or tied to OpenSea. I don't know. Again, yeah, please correct me if I'm wrong. But it's like the smart, the OpenSea contract of using the OpenSea, marketplace. It's that same issue and why everybody was prioritizing getting their own smart contracts, right? That's why everybody wanted their own smart contracts. So you actually are decentralized and not reliant on the marketplace and what happens there.
I'd be surprised if they landlock you in that regard, because I can't see a lot of projects going in that direction. Like you said, let's see if somebody out there can find that info for us.
I'll just say this: their whole thing recently with their sort of coup around the artist royalties was getting people to inject code that literally meant you couldn't trade on other marketplaces. So just understand their business is to try
that contract.
Sure, but again, that was the coup. Is that like, hey, we're helping artists, and also you can only trade on our marketplace now, right? Because that's their business. They want to trap as much volume as they can. They're basically just trapping. We all be trapping.
All right, we are going to get to the rest of the quick news here. A lot of great comments coming through. Talking about dick pics, Marty McFly saying, is it a rare just being over 5 inches? I bet you all got ultra commons. We appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, why you fucking like thinking I need to degen into feet pics now in case like that does happen, Winebags? That would be, if that happened.
Can you breed? Are you talking about the breeding? The combo? Let's talk about it.
If they really were to be able to do that. Like, if they were to take that initiative, I mean, talk about innovation. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, a couple things on that. With derivatives, usually to me, like my whole theory on derivatives is usually like, why wouldn't you just buy into the original if it's still affordable? Like, to me, if people are creating derivatives off of an original project, it's just adding more value to that original IP and that original project. So I'm actually considering feet pics as more legitimate than I did before, because it has other derivatives that are now selling out off of its like how much people know about it. So I'll say that. The other real quick thing on the Toshies, because I know we're moving off of that, it did pump and the floor has been dropping from yesterday already. It does appear to have been a lot of hype, and so we kind of called that one right. I think it's interesting that the floor is dropping like it is before the reveal. That to me is a very concerning thing about this, is that the floor is dropping quite a bit before it even reveals. That's not normal.
Yeah, that's not a good looking chart there for something so new.
It was not a cool minting experience, I'll tell you that much. And I did pump up the gas and I was there like on the dot.
What was the mint price?
I forget. I honestly forget Q, but yeah, it was nothing close to 0.1. It's like 0.0 something.
Yeah, I think it's holding above mint price, but the fact that it's dipping so much from where it was yesterday and it hasn't even revealed, I just feel like that's not normal. Like usually it'll hold or go up slightly, like keep creeping up to like a plateau, and it'll usually hold there until the reveal, and then it'll dump. Right?
Okay. All right, we're gonna get to the rest of the quick news, Biggie. I got a lot of your links, man, so I appreciate you coming through. This is Crypto Slam, another great tool to look at the markets. Just to be clear, and I want to make sure I can kind of zoom in enough for y'all at home. So this is NFT rankings on 24-hour volume. So again, we see the Doodles in there, Toshies, Punks, obviously. Porsche 911 being at the top is pretty wild based on the community's reaction.
The mint price was almost an ETH. That's why.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But once it dumped, this sale I believe is secondary. I don't think it's a primary sale. This is secondary sales that they're tracking. So Azuki up there, duplicators, Genesis blocks, and then the other one I want to show, which we pointed out during GM Web3 Morning Show. I don't know if you can tell over here in the corner. It's not really good to zoom in on this site. But just looking at this for later's conversation, Polygon right now and Flow are almost exactly the same when it comes to 24-hour volume. 163,000 NFT volume USD on Polygon, 158 there on Flow. Ethereum obviously takes up a huge majority, and then Immutable and Cardano are there.
Cardano miraculously always there.
If you go to 7 days, I think this is going to probably show Solana's. Where is Solana on this list?
Oof. Hold on. That's interesting. If it's supposed to track it, and it's just
no, it's like Solana's missing from this or something. I don't know what they're doing with Solana, because usually it
doesn't track it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. If anybody knows what's up with that, let us know in the comments. But what's interesting here too is I feel like what we're identifying with this Doodles acquisition, or them pulling, we're speculating right now because we don't know the details of what this deal looks like. to get Doodles to be expanding on the flow and moving their expansion there. We're assuming there's some incentive around why Doodles would go to flow specifically. Just like Polygon incentivized Frank DeGods and the Utes and all them with a $3 million grant to come over to Polygon. And so I think what's interesting that I think what we are identifying here is potentially a really interesting rivalry between Flow and Polygon, who might have similar sort of growth, strategies, right? Which is acquiring some of the top tier established Ethereum brands to bring them onto their platform and onto their ecosystem, right? So when you pull that up and you see, hey, in terms of volume and like activity, they're actually kind of neck and neck. To me, this sets up a really interesting sort of like two-chain showdown of like who's going to be able to pull the best brands over and really make this strategy of poaching from from Ethereum and Solana work.
Now let's see about that gift. Like you're right, it can happen, right? Like the news about the grant came out later after Frank DeGods had announced that partnership. But I mean, this would be a good time maybe to pull up Poopy's comment talking about why they chose.
No, I think we're gonna wait till the main topic period.
All right, sounds good. Maybe address it then.
Okay, so I'll pop out of this. I just really wanted to show based on Crypto Slam. So we're going to leave Doodles to the main topic, but if you look at this 30 days, and Solana should be here. I looked at this morning. They were number 2, but the one kind of differentiator between Polygon and Flow, you could see the number of buyers is it's more than double on Polygon, and the number of transactions is almost double. So. That's relevant, I guess, for the conversation. But I think you're right. Like Poopy's conversation or announcement is going to be a good combo, Biggie. There, what's up, Big GIF?
I'm just again laughing about the shit that we get to say. We're talking about dick pics. We're talking about Poopies and Doodles and oh my god, sewer passes. Yo, what a fucking time to be alive.
This is serious business.
Okay. So we're going to get into the rest of our quick news, and then we're hopping into Doodles and Flow. I have a Yuga Lab show, 3 announcements here, so it's going to be super quick. This was super fucking interesting. Right at the end of the GM Web3 Morning Show, I caught this tweet. This is from a fucking Metaverse podcast, and it was a clip. I want New Tokyo to be the first place you go to when you come into the other side. I believe New Tokyo, and again, 10KTF was one of those projects that was just too complicated for me to be like jumping in hardcore. They do great with Wagmi-san and all that stuff, but I believe he's talking about the Wagmi-san side of this for the other side. That's huge because the value is found in where everybody is going to be in the other side. It's going to be massive. That's the plan, to make it a massive multiplayer online universe. But if you're saying New Tokyo is going to be the first place you come, that's huge. So just alpha out there. I thought
and that makes sense, right? If it's like you want to centralize the activity and the traffic around your commerce areas. So if New Tokyo is going to be where merch and commerce is happening, then that's where you're going to want to drop everybody in. It's like exit through the gift shop, enter and exit through the gift shop. So maybe New Tokyo is the center of commerce, and that just makes perfect sense, right? And then you get outside of that and you get in everybody's other land and the other activations and games and shit. But like, you gotta start somewhere where all the traffic is, and hey, you can buy all the cool new shit here too.
I feel like the 10KTF stuff isn't moving on that. Maybe it's like a lesser known topic of combo there, because I don't think a fucking Metaverse is that big of a podcast at this point.
Or maybe 10KTF is already like pretty expensive for the supply, and people it's just like, again, other side is still, I think we all feel like it's still a ways off.
Okay, I agreed. Okay, a couple other things really quick. This was an interesting Dune Analytics, just this shared image, right? So NFT Statistics.e says a Bored Ape is now less than 50% of the total value of all the NFTs and coins each BAYC has received since mint. What that means is now, for the first time, it looks like that based on this drop of sewer passes, it took us barely over this mark of 50%. So they've been dropped, or Bored Ape holders have received more value than the actual Bored Ape itself, is essentially what this is seeing. So a really cool chart by NFT Statistics. If you guys want to hop in on that one, let me know. Otherwise, you got some GIF or Biggie?
I just think it's awesome. I mean, and look, it all spawned from the original apes. So like, if they, I mean, I don't know, man. I just hope that they can keep up with what they've been doing, and over the next year or two, keep providing more value, because it's incredible.
Yeah. You got some, Biggie?
No, I think it's awesome to watch, and to Ghxsts' point, it's I think the reason why you see in other projects these ridiculous expectations, right? Yuga has set a very high bar in this regard, and it's the reason why they're the leaders at the moment.
All right, we will get into the last piece of Yuga news here. Really interesting stuff from Harry Liu here. Day 6. This is total Dookie Dash stats up to this point. 3.6 million plays, 19,000 players, 591,000 is top score, 2.7, 6.9. That might have changed since this post. Unique buff buyers, 4,700 people have paid Ape to boost, and about 700,000 has been spent, of which we're thinking that the key at the end might unlock the actual loot of this 700K, maybe. And that's going to be well over 1 million by the end of this. There's going to be a lot of people spending. And, that's some positive Dookie Dash news. The overall sentiment has been positive, although I have heard in the last day or two, and I tweeted about this earlier or later last night, is that I'm seeing more people start to question about the buying of gamers on their sewer passes. I kind of said that out loud. In another aspect, I was like, a lot of people aren't going to want to play games. We don't want to have these rarities. Well, now people are asking the question. I see Bryson playing for 8 people. So is that the way that we want this game to look? Is it like 10, 30 people are playing all of the sewer passes for the top scores? Is that kind of the ethos we want to go with? That's an interesting concept. The other thing, and this is more of on a negative side, but I know they fixed it. We got a tweet here. Everyone was speculating. Saigar. I spent the last 5 days trying to exploit Dookie Dash from Bored Ape. It took many attempts, but I finally did it. And so what you see here is Dookie Dash, and you'll see him kind of float through an obstacle here. So you'll see this in a second. Let's see if he goes, and he floated through an obstacle. So we've been saying, like, hey, what happens when somebody games this, right? Like the high score, what happens, all that good stuff.
Well, all I'm going to say is they do it in the regular games too, right? Don't they?
Yeah.
But this is for really,
I know.
Like the stakes
higher
is
stakes.
So high. And again, especially if they are indeed taking some of that ApeCoin stash and awarding that also. Like, dude, this could be worth millions of dollars to a handful of people. So
he answers some Q&A. Why didn't you use this to set a high score? Why did you eventually crash? How do I know this video isn't fake? Can you explain how the exploit works? And I'll link that tweet here for you guys to take a look at. But essentially, he was saying like he only coded it to show over a certain period, like that he could get it, right? Like that he could make it happen. So that's why he crashed. How do you know the video isn't fake? He said it would take longer for him to recreate the video than actually like try to hack the whatever he was doing. So I guess take that for what it will. I dropped that link there. Someone was eventually going to do it. Someone was eventually going to hack this game. It is, to Biggie's point, something that happens all the time in gaming. So with that is the conclusion of the Yuga Lab show. Marty McFly saying, I've got drool on my keyboard from short-circuiting after Never Fade Yuga comments. And that's it, man. That's the Yuga Labs comments. We'll see what happens. Again, with Dookie Dash, we have about 2 more weeks, essentially, to play this out.
Yeah, so don't remind me.
Okay, so I've got Origin NFT. Yo, I was a top 250 player in the world too. I'm out here. I'm out here. All right, Biggie, we got Origins NFTs, my man.
Yeah, this is Sammy Eth, one of the head analysts there for Origins NFT. They're pretty high quality NFT, people covering the space. And basically, it's just him talking about this Crazy's proceed with caution analysis. And at the very end, Des Crazy praises him for this particular analysis because a lot of people have been speculating about the burn and whether it's going to end there or not. And basically, it's been confirmed now that everybody that owns one will get a chance to participate in this gamification that he's creating. Though it is mentioned there that people with full sets will get extra perks, shall we say. I think it's interesting. I think it's great. It definitely taught me a lesson henceforth. Get full sets, man. Buy multiples. I own 2. I'm happy with those. I'm not FOMOing into the rest to get the full set, but I think it's really cool to see artists experiment with this technology in this particular way. Some people want to call it a cash grab. Again, you can't make everybody happy. It's wild. This space is wild. It's just, to me, it's so entitled. But I think it's really cool what he's doing. And let's see how it goes, man. I know you're on board as well, right, Gif?
I'm actually really, really excited about this because it's an example of what I think is the great work that this community is doing with the Web3 network. Look, this one came to us through one of our co-hosts and contributors, Mix. Early Monday morning, we started talking about it, called this one out. I think it was maybe even below 0.1. I bought into it around 0.1. So we called this Monday morning and it's doing incredibly well. The floor is up to like 0.4 now. We even had Food Masku, who's a friend of Lucrece, this artist, jump in and give us more context that made me more bullish for why we started talking and why I actually bought into it, was getting that cosign from a trusted artist in the space like Antonius Food Masku. And so this is a great call, and the more that we kind of dig into this project, that person, Origins or somebody you just showed, the more we dig in, it seems like this is an artist that is great to be owning right now. Like they clearly have established themselves in the NFT community as an iconic, successful, well-known creator. And this project is, riding a new wave of meta, and it's just doing incredibly well. So I was actually thinking, should I go ahead and take profits here? Take a 4x in a couple days. That doesn't sound that bad, but we were just looking into this on GM Web3, and his monsters collection is up to almost a 30 ETH floor. So now I'm like, I'm not selling. I'm holding this shit. I'm gonna see where this goes because I definitely don't want a paper hand like I did on my fucking sewer pass.
Give some news just broke, and we appreciate you, Persk, here for dropping that. There's a couple comments, Perskcast, but one of them was that Kevin Rose's wallet just got compromised.
That is horrible, man. What the fuck, man?
Yo, don't tell me he was minting dick pics, bro. Don't tell me he was minting dick pics.
Shut up. He's listening to the show. No, man. Dude, this is painful to fucking even think about, man.
Another high-profile individual getting hacked.
I need to understand the post-mortem of this shit. Like, what the fuck? Oh, he signed a malicious Seaport bundle transaction. Dude, so shout out to my man, Perhurst. That's my man, Pablo there. He's badass. He's always fucking looking out over the space. That's cool, man. Thanks. That's at the same time, what a horrible fucking mistake, man. That is.
Wait, I'm not trying to make light of a bad situation, but also maybe that explains why they've got to charge so much for their conference pass. All right, too soon. All right, I'll
literally
see myself
30 keeping a man while they're down. Jesus. Oh, dude, I feel for this guy, man.
Yeah,
He's
this is
such a
awful.
positive influence in the space. Like this is.
This is bad. This is bad. Look, I was attempting to make a
I
bad joke. This
okay
is a bad situation.
okay. Last thing. So you guys are not seeing Purse's comment. There's another comment that Purse had that I want to get to as it's related to this channel, but I think we stay on this. For the last time, if you were here, if you're watching afterwards, if you're listening to us, Biggie's talked about it, Ghxsts talked about it. We all kind of like, made our notes and comments to this security issue. You really shouldn't be signing transactions with a wallet that has all of your valuable NFTs in it. It's that simple. The only transaction that your cold wallet should be making is transferring it back to a hot wallet whenever you want to sell it, or if you're trading it to somebody else. You shouldn't be signing transactions with your cold wallet. Like that simple. And I don't know what percentage of his wallet or value of his wallet was in this particular cold wallet, but there's a lot of chromey squiggles in there. Like let me go back to the original.
Yeah.
So he's losing squiggles here in this shot. Autoglyphs. I mean, he's a well, he has a lot of money, but I don't. This is
no, and this is years, man. Years of collecting. You should see this guy. This guy like does his research, like picks every piece individually. Like, oh man, this is so sad. I just hopped into the Discord right now and proof, and of course it's going off. I hope they find whoever did this and fucking flay him. It sucks to see this happen in this space. And again, like somebody at this level, high profile, it's heartbreaking, man. Like we can't onboard the rest of the world when this shit keeps happening, man. It's impossible, and I don't know, man. I really want to know how the fuck this happened and who the hell's responsible for it, because honestly, I don't know. As if it wasn't like enough that we like his project right now is obviously getting flooded because of his fucking conference, which I think is going to be awesome. This is
wow.
This is disgusting, dude. Yeah, decentralize your wallet. You're right, my brother. And multi-sig.
Make it a multi-sig. That's true. But even if it was a multi-sig, if you sign a malicious transaction, you give them access to your wallet.
Yeah, I mean that's the part that's mind-boggling. I can't help but obviously he was fooled into thinking it was trustworthy or that it came from somebody trustworthy. And man, dude, like I want to know who the hell that is and how the hell it happened. Like honestly, for henceforth, yeah, that's what it should be. It's like you asking me to sign a transaction with my high-valued asset. Well, it's not happening. Tell me another way.
Yeah.
Oh, there isn't another way. Well,
too bad.
Tough.
Yeah.
I don't understand. But again, these things send a chill down my spine every time I see them.
Yeah.
Because if this happens to people of that caliber, man.
And again, it's why mass adoption conversations are hilarious. Until this stuff is figured out to some extent, I don't know what that looks like. Again, the tech in 5 years might look incredibly different than what we're using now. But until that point, people are not going to risk this amount of money and leaving any sense of any of their funds on these wallets when they don't understand the ecosystem. And people that do are getting hacked this bad.
Dude.
All right, so I'm going to try to put us back on the rails here. We'll follow this Kevin Rose situation back, but let's try to steer this back into some positive light because Justin Casey.
And thanks to Pablo for calling it out, right? Like, man. Appreciate it. Keep coming, my man.
I do want to get to his comments. Justin Casey saying, can I please get a happy birthday to me? Feeling needy today. Don't do a happy birthday song around Gift Dead, but happy birthday to Justin Casey, part of our tribe. We appreciate you, man. Happy birthday.
We'll wish you all the best and give you all the happy birthday wishes, and I'll even try and bake you up a cake. Just don't sing the happy birthday song, please.
He'll even send you a dick pic.
If you rub me the right way. Look, the thing about the birthday song is that come on, we have to be honest. I feel like people are just not honest about how awful of an experience the birthday song is, because what ends up happening is a bunch of people feel forced. They don't know how to sing well. They aren't warmed up. You get a very disharmonious
It's not that serious, GIF.
cacophony of people who can't sing, just like half-ass. Happy birthday to her. Like, it's awful. I don't understand why this is still a thing.
Birthday.
Yeah, no, don't sing the song, bro.
You.
All right, but happy birthday, Justin Casey. And we appreciate you always bringing the value, bringing the vibes.
So this is a conversation that I think we have like as a team, maybe behind closed doors. But at the same time, I want to open this comment up because you guys can't see Persk's comments. Pablo, is that what he said his name was? You can't see Pablo's comments because he's. We have a viewership on Twitch that watches it while we're live or while we're afterwards. You guys can't see those tweets. Primarily where the majority of the community is, which is on YouTube. He says, don't want to be annoying, but if you guys shared the Twitch link more often, I believe you'd be able to monetize the show a lot more easily than YouTube. So I think the conversation, I mean, if you guys have any, this is, again, a team conversation, but if you guys can, give us any, comments that you'd like about how we can best do both, because we have people that are watching us on YouTube right now. We have a lot of y'all, but we also want to be able to reach other people as well and bring other people into this tribe. Twitch does have a better monetization strategy for what we want to do with their subscription or follow. What do you call it on Twitch? See, this is why we can't be on Twitch yet. I'm that big. Yeah. I'm showing my boomerness. It's not a follow. It's a
subscription.
God. No, it's not called subscribe. So it's a subscription on YouTube. We just don't run subscriptions. Twitch has... Anyways, we'll figure it out. There's both follow and subs. I guess it is a sub. They just call it a sub and not subscription. But that we want to figure out the best way forward for this. So if you guys have any tips, just let us know. Again, Giff and Biggie, we could have this convo afterwards as well.
Let's do it. Yeah, for sure.
Do you guys have any just thoughts on that combo in general before we move on?
No, I mean, look, what I will say is that, look, we're a small team and we're trying to build this thing with the community for the community. That's what Web3 Network is all about, a community-driven place for us to sustain ourselves, survive, and build something bigger and thrive long-term and keep providing free alpha, providing value, providing, regular, consistent, high-quality analysis, good quality editorial, entertainment, and educational content. Yeah, and vibes. So that's what we're about. And anybody that can help us do a better job or improve, obviously keep it constructive and positive. But there's some other people, from the community, like Marty McFly, like Jared from NFTGO, that have been reaching out saying, hey, I could help y'all do this, or, I've got some recommendations for how y'all can improve this. We really appreciate that. And we are here to get better all the time. So if you've got some level of expertise or interest in some part of, building this media company and this brand with us, please reach out. Don't be shy. Let us know what you want. We're here to get better and to get more of you involved in different ways. And we really appreciate it.
Love it. Love it. So Purse was saying Twitch subs are paid, though. YouTube subscriptions are paid as well. They're just not widely used. So people, I feel like, just don't even know sometimes that YouTube subs exist. But they have monthly subscriptions as well. They have tipping features on both platforms. Just ways to monetize, obviously. Like, we're a small business, as Ghxsts was saying. So we're looking to grow. But appreciate those comments. All right, Biggie, we have Ghosts, Bright Moments, and Arc. Which one would you like?
Let's do it. What was that first one?
Ghosts.
Show me. Let's just go down with the line. I'll try to be quick. I know I sent you a couple of things up last night, but yes, Ghosts. Yes. Well, there's another open meta, very much along the lines of Deslucracy. A couple of, I think about 2 weeks ago, he minted the first 3 primary colors. Now it turns out that there's going to be 3 other colors, which you'll have to burn 2 colors to make the extra colors. So in other words, right now, if you wanted to have every single color, you would need to own 6 of each color that he has at the moment. Again, this is a reputable artist. I'm a fan, not a cash grab. I don't see it that way. I did mint and I bought extras because I want to be a part of it, and I'm not going to be left behind like I was with the Deslucracy one. So I want every fucking color.
I rolled my eyes a little bit when we were talking meta on this color and customizable burn stuff, but this seems to be literally a new meta, like multiple now projects. Like Ghost is not that small project.
You doubt our calls on here on the meta, but we are fucking on point. more often than we aren't. At least I'll say that much, bro.
Yeah, but definitely something to keep an eye out. Let's track it. Again, like I think this is just for things like Neon Cat, Des the Crazy, and now Ghosts. These are serious artists that have been in the space for quite some time. They are thoughtful. They love their community, and they breed like they feed off each other, right? And so I'm really looking forward to see what type of I hate calling it gamification because in the end, it still sounds like what they're looking to do at the end is just make bank, which, hey, what's wrong with that? But I really want to see what the experiences that they are going to build from this, what they're like. So it's going to be really, really cool.
I feel like I got this search wrong. It's not 390 NFTs, is it, for Ghosts?
No, that's like those are his one of ones. Best way to do it is through, I think you'd be able to find the links through his Twitter, the link that I sent you.
Okay.
If you just open it up, I'm sure he links out there to OpenSea. Yeah, I had a little bit of issue there too, like finding the blue one, the red one. But yeah.
Let's see what activity. Yeah. Okay, no. Six.
No.
That's the OG. That's the OG Ghosts, right?
So I'm just seeing if does this have any reflection on the collections in general is what I'm looking at. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ghosts have notoriously not been cheap ever. His one of ones are like hand drawn, and so they take time. And I think in this particular case, he's already prefacing it because us Degens, we want everything quick. And he's like, hey, my stuff is hand drawn. It takes time, so just be chill. This is what's coming. But yeah, the minute I saw it, I jumped at the chance and I got myself 3 others because I want to partake in this, whatever it is that he's building. It's not too bad, at least from last night that I saw it. I believe min price was 0.06, and so now I think it's up to like 0.08 each one of these colors. So let's see how it plays out. But judging from Neon Cat and Des the Crazy, I'm a fan, y'all. You know this. New Year's resolutions be damned.
Didn't you say once a month? Was it once a month?
Man. Seriously, not even done with January, and it's already like I'm sure I'm like fucking through that. Yeah, I don't even want to know.
You're at like once every 2 days. You're like once every other day at this point.
New Year's resolutions die hard, bro. Most people do not stick to them. But anyway, this is, I think, potentially some solid alpha here, and I'm actually going to be looking at this to see if I should get in. So we've been talking a lot about the artists behind Proceed with Caution, De Lucrece, and again, his Monsters collection is a floor of almost 30 ETH right now. He just had the Proceed with Caution collection take off, which has been trending all week. It's done really, really well this week for us. I just found out about this other collection of his, which is Life of Mon, which, again, if you're looking at how his other collections are doing, maybe it's a decent buy-in right now at 0.4. I don't know, but these are, it looks like it's 5 different editions, I think, of 100. I don't know if they're different sizes. I clicked into 1 or 2, and I think they're around 100. So if you scroll down just a little bit on it. You're just looking at the analytics. Can we look at the items? Yeah, let's go look at the actual art. Yeah, so it looks like 5 different editions. I think each one of them, if you click in just like one of them, any one of them, I think they're 100. Yeah. So these look like editions of 100. So that means there's only 500 in this collection. It's pretty low supply. Obviously, not going to be as valuable as his one of one monsters. But, again, if this artist and this iconic style of his is really taking off right now, maybe a good place. Not financial advice. 0.4 is still a hefty, buy-in. It's not cheap. But, again, if you're just looking at how he's doing right now and where he's trending, this artist might be a really, really good buy.
All right, we're getting hit with multiple links right here. This is what you're getting on today's NFT Live. What do you got, Biggie?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to give you see, so it's like 0.09. It's a little bit more now, each different color, but it's not. And how many are there? 2.5K each, so it's probably like 7,500 total collection. Not bad. Oh, look, red and blue, not so expensive. Let's see how it plays out.
Santino, appreciate the comment there telling us that we could actually customize or restream to actually add theta. Maybe we can use that for some other platforms as well. Asmodai is saying, Biggie, living in full color. Prodigy, we see you. Guy is saying, love that you guys are covering this. And Marty McFly wants to move on to Bright Moments, which was a hotly debated topic in this morning's GM Web3 morning show, I think, right?
The Bright Moments?
Was it Bright Moments or was it the...
No, it's proof of conference.
Proof of conference, got it.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I sent you the link for the Bright Moments announcement as well. So Bright Moments and ArtBlocks. I love it. Like the two biggest generative art galleries, curators in the space, joining forces to do real live IRL activations. I think you've heard me talk about this. Last year, they were the highlight of anything that I did crypto related. Just meeting great people, seeing great art. And please, like again, like it leads into the whole proof of conference thing. It's not a conference. Unfortunately, we called it a conference, but to me, it's more like an art festival, or an art walk or a gathering. They're small, they're intimate, they're meant to promote conversation, and they are designed to be experiences, and not only that, but value add experiences, not just like because the people that you meet, but usually there's a minting or an activation that occurs. And to see these two juggernauts join forces, which I'm sure is the result of their co-mingling in Mexico City last year, it's just beautiful to watch. Like, this is the stuff that I want to see more of. I think they're going to kill it. They're going to shoot it at, they're going to hit it out of the park. No doubt whatsoever.
Let's watch the video and then come out on the other side.
What's the actual announcement? Like, is this just a teaser that there's something coming, or is there an actual announcement for an event or something like that?
No, it's an announcement. I think it's the link, one of those links that I sent you. Q.
Let me pull it up.
But yeah, it's an official announcement, coupled with Bright Moments. What does this mean, and more iconic minting experiences. Like,
I want to know. I want to know when and how to get in on this is what I want to know. So if they've shared that, that's the...
Oh, no. They haven't shared a date or price or anything. God forbid, GIF. We're dealing with the proof of conference bullshit right now. I hope they take your time, Bright Moments and ArtBlocks. Take your time and be careful how you phrase things. Can people here like to write shit in fucking stone immediately? But I mean, iconic minting experiences. I'm really curious to see what that's going to look like. I don't know if some of you guys
I can tell you because I actually did my first live minting experience at the new Bright Moments location here in Venice, and I've been at their old location, and I've been talking to a lot of my friends that have been in the crypto citizens traveling to the different cities where they've been doing these live minting, and so. They show it in the videos. Some of those rooms, what they're showing is the Bright Moment. It's becoming famous now.
You own a crypto station?
No, so I don't know crypto Venetian, but I own like some new generative art that I just minted. So they bring in artists and they do these all the time. They curate different generative artists to come and basically do drops, and they use their live minting mechanics through their locations to do this. But also Crypto Citizens, what they've been doing is really, really spectacular. And that's that they're doing 1,000 citizens at 10 different cities. So the whole thing will become a 10,000 collection. I think they've done 4 or 5 already. And Tokyo's next. And they basically travel to these places and set up these incredible live minting experiences where it's not just like, hey, I show up and I get a thing. It's like they like, again, you in that video, if you go and you pick through it, dude, there was one room where you saw a giant fucking screen. I think that was Berlin. So in Berlin, they had this like literally this crazy like old factory. It's like a really famous factory that they took over with this gigantic fucking shrine of a screen. That giant screen. You just passed it. So I'm pretty sure that's a minting experience of you seeing and experiencing your NFT in real time for the first time in that. So they create this like insane experience of going and actually minting live and meeting and experiencing and connecting with your NFT at these places and with the community there and connecting with the community. And nobody else has cracked this live minting code quite like Bright Moments has. So now what they're saying is we are going to be launching collections on the ArtBlocks platform using our live minting and IRL experiences. So I'm so grateful.
And they did that already. Like, I mean, I think that the initial beta of this was the Bright Moments Mexico City experience, which is very much in line with what you're talking about, Ghxsts. What I meant more was like, this is just the beginning, right? Like, these are just the first iterations of it, which leads into what Proof is trying to do. Proof is trying to throw their hat in the ring in this space. IRL minting activations. How do you make something be more than just the typical mint that we experience through our monitors day in, day out, right? And really connect with other people that are passionate about this space, that are building in it. And how do you like, it's really amazing. One of my favorite things about Bright Moments is that they show up there a month in advance and they pick a gallery space and they start onboarding local artists of that city, teaching them about blockchain, teaching them how to go about it. And when they leave a team of co-signers there to continue this, right? So that they keep onboarding artists from Mexico City, from Berlin, from London, from Venice, from Brooklyn, the cities that they've done. Next one is Tokyo. It is, I think, something that people cannot fathom until you go to one of them. I had the privilege of doing it. I went to Marfa last year. I mean, look at Marfa. They just announced their next showing. It's going to be in September, thank the Lord, because it won't be as cold. But man, you can't find rooms anymore. Like, I don't know if it's the Degened that went in there and like booked everything. It's difficult. And still, people are renting in like Alpine, Texas, which is 30-45 minutes away from Marfa, just to be able to attend.
I'm telling you,
the move there has to be an RV.
The closest comparable, like, I think, would be something like a South by Southwest or a Sundance, right? Where it's like the most passionate people and the biggest creators, like coming in, descending on a small little town or a particular city and just transforming it into like an art. Like, is that a conference anymore? To me, it isn't. It's a festival.
So
it's
different. So Biggie just hit on a bunch of big points. I have to say, this was the place. This show was the first place that said Marfa, Texas is going to be a big deal. So I'm telling y'all right now, like, again, Marfa is alpha. If you want to invest in real estate, not financial advice, but I think over the next 10 years, Marfa is going to be on the map because artists are adopting it. And what follows artists is money. Money and collectors follow artists. So just remember that. So we called this months ago when Biggie was talking about how cool it was out there. And I said, I think Marfa is going to be a big deal. The other, like, Biggie, so you mentioned a really, really important part about what Bright Moments and Crypto Citizens is doing, and that is the local onboarding, because they want to leave behind a contingent in each of these cities around the world. It's fucking brilliant. And I don't know what Proof Collective is doing. I think a lot of people are trying to crack this code and create these IRL minting experiences. But the thing is, Bright Moments has already done it, and they've been doing it now for like a year and a half, 2 years. So all I'm saying is, I'm glad you found this early. I think this is something to pay really, really close attention to, because I think that ArtBlocks and Bright Moments together, whatever they do, this is going to be huge. I really think this is going to be absolutely massive.
And I can't help but highlight this, GIF. It's a partnership. It's a friendly, amicable cooperation, which is what the space needs. You know, like talking about like proof of conference. What are they trying to do? They're not trying to come in here and take from. It's a yes and, right? It's additive, right? The only issue is that these things cost a lot of money, man. They cost tons of money. Marfa is not an inexpensive place to go any other time of the year. You can get a place for $100 a night or less. Right now, for those dates, because it's such a small town and there's limited space, it's like people are charging $250 a night, man. And this is like ArtBlocks is free. It's free to attend. But at some point, GIF, I am 100% certain that they're gonna have to figure out a way to do this correctly, right? Because you're not going to be able to have the amount of people that want to go there if there's not enough places to stay. You're going to have some form of ticketing, and eventually, gosh, God forbid, they might have to fucking charge money to hold these events. So you fucking DJs can come in there and mint for free, by the way. You get to mint for free pieces that eventually will change your life. Or can buy
That's
a car
not
or
true.
something.
Wait, what do you get to mint for free? Because the crypto.
So I got to mint. I got to mint that. So in Marfa, when you showed up, it was 100% free. There's no ticketing. Yeah, no. Bright Moments is already. I mean, having to charge for these experiences, renting the place, all the stuff that they put up just for the experience. Again, these things cost money. It's a business, people, right? ArtBlocks started off differently. It's been mostly like small. Like the first iteration was like 150, 200 people. This last year, it was closer to 500, 600. What do you think it's going to be this year? 1,000, 1,200. The gallery can only have so many people. So eventually you're going to have satellite events. You're going to have to get a little more organized. And God forbid, you might have to pay some people and charge to make some money, right? But when you got there, GIF, you showed up, you had Daniel Calderon, who's like Snowfro's brother, handing out personally like welcome cards where you signed up, signed up with your email and with your wallet, and then 2 weeks later you got a free mint for his Marfa Yucca plant that I don't know what the floor is right now, but it's substantial. Like, he didn't have to do that. Like, you're not entitled to that just because you showed up. This is just out of like how artists are, right? Like they're out of their kindness of their heart. But at some point, if you want to make something special, if you want to do something at the level of Bright Moments, like, it's a business. You have to charge.
I know. I was just confused because you said there's free minting, and when is the model of Bright Moments? Is
Marfa was free minting. I should have highlighted that.
The next Marfa event.
But next Marfa event, September 21st, something like that.
Okay. So, guys, we do have to move on. We have a whole main topic that we got to get to, and it's an hour and 22 minutes in. So, last thoughts.
We're not gonna hit it. We're not gonna get there.
We cannot do the proof of conference. We have
I'm
to.
fine with it, man.
Let's hit it tomorrow.
We can talk about it tomorrow. Yeah.
Gaia, you had a great comment. Although, let's get to Marty McFly first. AB Bright Moments is going to be huge. Yeah, if you know, you know. Santino, we appreciate your comments as well. And then Guy is saying you guys tried our MP where Doodles 2 wearables will be housed.
Oh.
That's going to be our upcoming topic. I did want to quickly touch because I think it's important on the Gutter Cat Gang announcement. I wore my Gutter Cat Gang hoodie for a reason.
Representing.
Quick update from Kevin Rose. He did tweet about 20 minutes ago. I was just hacked. Stay tuned for details. Please avoid buying any squiggles until we get them flagged. Just lost 25. A few other NFTs, like an autoglyph. 25 squiggles. What is that? I mean, I know they range in value.
Let's just say they're the 50th floor each one.
Okay.
It's a lot.
And like, obviously he has some of the rarer ones, day ones, pipes.
Got it.
It's a lot.
It's not cool, man. Like this guy needs to be caught. I hope they fucking catch him. I'll drag him around the fucking streets in the back of my truck myself.
That's I like that.
So, but before the Gutter Cats and the Doodles announcements, we were gonna focus today's GM Web3 around anonymity versus identity in Web3, and like what do we need to do to move forward. And like this is just like another example of where it's making it harder and harder and harder every day for us to grow, because this just keeps happening to really high profile people or massive scams and frauds. And unfortunately, so much of it is because anonymous people are able to behave this way. So it's a tough combo. And we're not going to get into it. We're not going to solve it here. But
okay.
Honestly, like this shit's awful, man. And it really does hurt. It hurts the whole community. It hurts our sustainability and our growth and our legitimacy whenever this shit happens.
I'm confused at what Guy is talking about with MP. Is that some type of like beta product?
Maybe he meant MVP, like a minimal product, minimally viable product. I don't know. Maybe MP means something else. Correct us in the comments. Yeah. Let us know what you mean, Guy.
Well, Guy is saying I got to bounce, but thanks for covering. Reach out to us on Twitter. Let's get you guys into Twitter Spaces.
Marketplace. Marketplace. He means marketplace.
Marketplace. Got it. Okay, Gaia Marketplace. DM
us. That's right.
For Michael.
I know Gaia, of course.
Well, you'll know Guy a little bit more. Apparently, we can get on some Twitter Spaces. That'd be dope.
Love to talk all things flow.
Especially marketplace talk, man. We love that. Okay, real quick, we'll get to a Gutter Cat announcement. So we touched on this about 2 weeks ago. Gutter Cat Gang said, hey, we're changing our stripes. We're changing the color of our cat. We're going to land in our feet. I'm looking at all the different cat analogies I can damn make to go to Gutter Cat Gang 2.0. This is going to be a redemption for the Gutter Cat Gang on the community involvement, on getting their IP out there, on listening, on fostering Web3 values. And we got this announcement today, fresh off the Gutter Press. Come chop it up with us in the Discord. So this is essentially Gutter Cat's Gang's like next roadmap is what you would kind of call it, right? They basically laid out, and I'll talk about it here. From our first community focus group session, we aligned on 8 unifying themes that summarize the majority of feedback: increased marketing, messaging, and communication, clarity around digital collectible membership tiers, future activations and brand vision, reward loyalty and gamify the collector experience, more lore, empower and amplify more creators within the community, pursue and enable IP licensing, facilitate more networking and community meetups, and make Gutter products more accessible through Web 2 channels.
Those are the insights that they took away from these like community groups, and then they outline all the steps that they're taking. Allegedly, like in good faith, we're saying these are the things that they're all working on. But first of all, it's a lot. Like it took me, 10 to 15 minutes to read through all of this, and it's like 15 different attack items. Like if this was a roadmap, it's like a giant thing. And I think there's 2 big sort of red flags with it, if you will, or just big question marks that is maybe impacting why it's not having more of a positive effect on like the floor price of the Gutter Cats and stuff. And one is that, announcing more plans in a new roadmap, quote unquote roadmap like this, doesn't hold as much weight as it would if they had more success fulfilling on previous roadmaps and previous plans. Because, I think they had other roadmaps like this, other things that they announced that they're doing in the past that have not come to fruition. And that leads into the biggest question mark to me. And that's, what's up with the gang token? It is not addressed at all. And it kind of feels like they listed a million different things with a bunch of different pretty words of things that they're going to do as almost like a cover up and an excuse to just hide the fact that they promised gang token in Q3 of 2022 and then went silent. And look, like we get it. If I think Q, you had a really interesting observation in it. they're in, I think, what Andy James called the Goldilocks zone of getting fucked. I think that's a great way, right? And what does that mean? That means they do not have the bank and the resources of a Yuga Labs to defend themselves and fight off, requests for information and possible lawsuits or fines coming from the SEC or something like that. And to be those like leaders out in front, leading the charge of experimenting with like, how far can we push these, securities conversations? They don't have the ability to do that, but they are still visible and big enough to maybe be a target. So that's the Goldilocks zone of getting fucked. Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting point here. But again, I think if they're trying to communicate better, having some clarity around that instead of just ignoring it would be better, in my opinion.
Yeah. They're big enough to be known and small enough to get fucked is basically the zone that they fall into with the gang token. The SEC knows, or if they're looking across the space, they know they see Gutter Cat Gang, and that's one of the larger projects to launch a token. But at this point, man, when I say larger project, a lot of it has to do with the way that we think about Gutter Cat Gang in the past. Like maybe we just have to start thinking about Gutter Cat Gang from square one. And I'm gonna pull up the volume here on Gutter Cat Gang, and the reaction to this announcement is muted. And that's a good way to put it.
They were one of the OG bigger collections and ecosystem, like an early ecosystem. They're like one of the first brands that really expanded into multiple projects successfully, at least somewhat successfully, pretty successfully. And they've had like the way that they've executed events and different partnerships has been at a scale that most other projects have never gotten to. So yeah, to your point, that's why we think of them as a big dog or a big cat. But are they still? They haven't been super active. They've been doing GutterCon. I don't know if GutterCon is helping them, because like if you look at where people are at, the sentiment, it doesn't seem like going to Vegas to get drunk with a bunch of dudes is helping. Right?
Yeah, I'm
just being honest.
Biggie was making that point when he was talking about proof of confidence and it not being like throwing a party, not being that valuable, basically for some projects like a Moonbirds, right? Like,
there's different types of parties. I think what proof of confidence is going to do, separate from the charging a bunch of money combo. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
No.
I think I would rather go to proof of conference than GutterCon.
I see.
No question. Because I think they're
it's a
totally
Vegas
different.
Shit show.
Yeah, one's is the gutter in Vegas. One is like, hey, come talk to a bunch of industry leaders and get alpha and awesome minting experience or whatever, right? It's like, these are very different things.
I wonder, Biggie, I want your comments in here too, and I wonder what everybody else is thinking here about Gutter Cat. Again, we showed the volume. This is volume dating back October 31st, right? Sales in the last 90 days. What you like to see is like sales increasing rapidly over that time since they made the announcement 2 weeks ago, and then they put out the announcement pretty much yesterday or this morning. Let me make sure I get that. Was that January 24th? Yeah, yesterday. What you're seeing...
And the danger with this is that they make these giant promises expecting some more positive feedback, and then when they don't get that feedback loop going and seeing results, that energy dies, and then you have more unfulfilled promises.
Agreed. And what you're seeing here is also the floor prices. Yes, we have gone up, but we've since dipped back down to I wouldn't call it pre-levels, but if you're looking at activity, we see some OG cats going for 1.75, which is what they were going for, right before the announcement. And I don't want to get too like caught up in the, we need to look at floor price here and all that stuff, but it just tells you the sentiment, and it sucks. It sucks. Like Gutter Cat Gang was a big project at one point. They were an OG project. They were close to being a blue chip when everything was still kind of just out of the gate.
There's still a lot of equity and potential with the brand, but again, I think maybe courting certain types of aspects of the brand and focusing on certain areas, and then again the lack of communication, I think it's really hurt them. I don't know that it's proving to be a sustainable brand focusing on doing things like Vegas, parties.
Focus groups, podcast. It looks like they're doing Twitter Spaces. They're going to start like a podcast, a Gutter shop, and
there's a lot of good
Shopify
stuff listed in there. I hope they can follow through on that stuff, because there's a lot of good stuff listed.
I think some of these projects sometimes like get over their skis, especially in regards to founders, right? Like I think when you look at successful founders that, especially like that have like launched businesses, sold them multiple times, like when you speak to them, they like, and you tell them like, well, would you go back and tell your younger self, like during your first business? A lot of them always tell you it's like, at some point I should have been humble enough to like let go of my baby, right? And give it to somebody else, a more experienced operator, right? Sold a little earlier, kept equity or a board seat, but it's very hard to do, of course, when it's your baby, right? And you have your ego involved and your name and skin in the game. I think you see this we've seen it be done successfully with other projects. Pudgy Penguins comes to mind most recently, right? Starcatchers is another one that's trying to do that, right? Like at some point, like if you're not operating at the level or you're not getting the results that you were looking for, and you already got your project up to a certain bar of notoriety, like Gutter Cat Gang, like I mean, yeah, I agree with Marty. I don't think about them very much. I'm not familiar with them. I remember when they came out with Cool Cats. I'm more partial to Cool Cats, the way they've approached the market. But I think it's important to just like look in the mirror and see if bringing in fresh blood, a different perspective, somebody with different capabilities to help you go to that next level is a good idea. And from what I see right there, and to Gift's point, what he was talking about is, yeah, there's a lot of great intentions and good ideas, but I see them struggling with execution, right? Or with focus. And that to me just says that there's something wrong with the people manning the ship. And so maybe you need to bring in somebody else, an experienced operator that's been there before, that can see the holes in your game and correct course. Gutter Cat Gang, I know we throw stones at you every now and then, but it's because we love you. And look at our co-host here, fearless leader, wearing your badge of honor. Like, yeah, I think that's just kind of what you got to do. It's not an easy space to navigate, right? And capture attention and keep it and execute.
Yeah, and I think just to follow up on that, I think maybe that leadership put a lot of work into the gang token, which when it didn't launch, took the sales out of a lot of what they were doing. The wind out. Go ahead.
I agree with all that. And again, we want to always caveat, like, look, we're talking about this shit because we care and we want to see it succeed. Like, so we're rooting for it. We're just calling out what we see. And, I did want to also briefly mention Oniforce, which I think was a similar situation because they kind of rose quickly. Then the team kind of fell apart and didn't know how to manage the expectations. And they've been in a transitional phase, actually trying to do exactly what Biggie's saying of bringing in new leadership. And you know what? That floor is up to almost a 1/8 floor. I was checking Oniforce earlier, almost a 1/8 floor. So who knows? I'm still bullish on that one too. I still love Oniforce. And
as the year progresses, right? As the year progresses, like we're going through the dark night of the soul kind of situation in crypto right now, right? And when we hear people like Gary Vee say 95% are not going to make it, this is what he fucking means. It's not just like the meme, quick little punts that you see out there. No, he's talking about like serious projects that have garnered a lot of love and notoriety that just won't make it because they don't execute correctly or they didn't seize the moment, or a lot of things can happen. It's rough waters. It's not easy to navigate. And so you got to keep a tight ship. And that's why I always bang the fucking fist on the table talking about fucking leadership. DAOs are great, but you need fucking leadership. Real leadership.
Well, and I think we're being generous if we say 5% are going to make it. It's probably closer to 1% to 2%, maybe less, because I think it's like only 1 in every 1,000 NFT projects actually ever becomes anything. Shout out Darren. real quick, Darren in the chat, just to address that, like, yeah, we're hitting on things that are popping off every day, as well as like the bigger existing projects. It kind of just depends where you jump into the show. Like, we definitely have been talking about several newer projects on this show, but also now we're kind of into some of the other headlines. So yeah, of course. And if you have certain projects or things you'd like us to cover, let us know in the chat. And or if you just like us doing content that's more focused around how to identify and find upcoming projects earlier, let us know, because we can definitely focus on creating more of that content. I know we do want to move on and wrap this up. Q.
Yep, let's do that. Squashman is saying, I think GCG, Gutter Cat Gang, also expanded their ecosystem too much. Web3 native is their target audience and still too small. Not enough outside demand to fill the supply they're creating with clones. I think they are the poster child for that NFT dilution analysis that we pulled up. I think they are. There's others, of course. Doodles could get caught up in that. They've expanded with the duplicators and all these different things. They're launching Doodles too, which is our next topic. But we'll get into Starbucks first. Also, Darren Pacheco, if you're here, we usually timestamp this stuff afterwards to talk about different projects too. So we've been talking about based heads. I would say that's one that we're like extremely bullish on. There's a couple others.
Proceed with caution, Nyam Balloon, DickPix, Feet Pics. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we're talking about. We didn't get to a kid called Beast today. Maybe we'll try and dig into that. We can try and dig into that tomorrow on GM Web3 if you can join us, because I don't know much about it, and I've seen it, I've heard of it. But anyway, real quick, we get to demo for you the beta of Starbucks Odyssey. I'm one of the first ones in, so I made sure to sign up and claim yesterday. And so this is what the dashboard of the beta for Starbucks Odyssey looks like. When you go through
Night Tiger?
This is me, bro. I am a night tiger, bro. So you get 3 different avatar options to choose from. One of them's a bird, one of them's like a grizzly bear, and then one of them's this tiger. At least those are the 3 that I got. I think, Q, you were speculating that it's because there's 3 different main regions in the world that copy comes from. I think you're probably right on that.
I just think that the bear doesn't.
Did you squat on the name Rich?
No, that's just my name. Oh. No, I took Gifted. Actually, I took my name Gifted. I wonder if
pick up Zach for me.
Benefits, level 1, level 2. So you can see there's different levels that you unlock by participating. And
it's gonna be like
you can see
fucking wired for a month, just like hitting those fucking scores.
So you start out with 75 points. I didn't do anything to earn these 75 points. I haven't actually done anything yet in here, but when you log in, you've got these different journeys, and so just by participating in these journeys that are all coffee and brand focused, learning. I love coffee, so I'm not mad. I'll learn a little bit more about coffee and about Starbucks by doing these, but then you earn points that is going to unlock stamps and different benefits. And this is where I guess this will be my wallet right here.
Market?
And then there's a market. I don't know. I guess this is where you can maybe trade in points or stamps, or maybe trade. Let's go see actually what happens here when we go to market. I haven't even been here yet.
It's not showing. No, it's not showing up on the screen.
Well, it looks like actually, let me share this tab instead. So it looks like please complete 2-factor authentication to continue. So I'm going to need to do that. Let me actually see if I can do that real quick.
Okay.
This is all being done through Nifty Gateway, by the way. That's their partner.
What?
Nifty Gateway is the partner. So here you go. This is the market, the beta for the Starbucks Odyssey NFT market. And you got Polygon NFTs in here. Just these 2 so far.
I don't know if I like the Nifty
floor price, $300 on this.
Wait, there's already NFTs being sold. Oh, look at the little Polygon sticker,
dude.
Okay, so how does the wallet work? Is it like, do they tell you it's a MetaMask? Do you connect your MetaMask? Is it a native wallet?
Well, it's powered by Nifty Gateway, and it's connected to your Starbucks Odyssey wallet, I guess, right? So it's like, again, if I can go back here to share this tab, so you can see, like, I got my stamps, start collecting stamps. I'm guessing this is my wallet. That's like a custodial.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is like a custodial Starbucks wallet, and this is connected to my Starbucks rewards account. And then, they've got this like marketplace. Oh, sorry. Let me share this tab. So back to the marketplace.
Okay. Okay.
Here you go.
I'm just fascinated with the way these products are marketed, right? Like, are they marketing it like Reddit did, where it's a vault and then you could turn it into a Web3 wallet, essentially? So, yeah,
I don't know. I am assuming though, if these are Polygon assets, that there might be a way to off ramp or descend or share them out to another wallet. I mean, that would be my hope, but who knows? Maybe they're stuck in the Starbucks ecosystem. Maybe share them out. This is going to be something we're going to be experimenting with over the coming weeks. And again, I just have to say one more time, because the stakes of big, high profile consumer brand experiments like this are actually really high for the space. I really hope this is successful. I really hope that other people will support it and check it out and give it a chance, because so many other brands look to companies like Starbucks and follow their lead. And so if this fails, it's going to hurt the space. Like, a lot of other brands are just going to say, I'm not going to invest in Web3. It's all bullshit. It's a scam. It's bullshit. And if it does really well, then we're going to have a lot more people be interested in Polygon and NFTs and rewards programs that are Web3 enabled. So I really think that at least us giving this a chance and wanting it to succeed helps us all.
All right, thank you, Ghxsts Ded, for taking us in there, man. That was a cool first look at Starbucks Odyssey. Squashman was saying, think the market is attached to Nifty Gateway. We'll look more into this. Maybe we could bring it up tomorrow as well.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna watch this Doodles 2 trailer, but we really have like 10 minutes left to get to this main topic. We had a lot come through today. So it's a longer episode. Sorry, Jay.
It is how it is, and it does what it does, man. That's the crypto space for you. But we're here to cover it, and we can pick up where we left off tomorrow. That's the fun part. We still got tomorrow. Thirst Trap Thursdays, right, Gif?
You know it, bro.
Okay, Doodles is moving to Flow. They're not moving the OG collection. Settle down. They're launching Doodles 2 on Flow. We're gonna watch this Doodles 2 trailer and then come back on the other side.
They didn't pay them enough to move, but yeah.
Does this not have audio?
No audio.
Impossible for it not to have audio. If it does not have audio, I'd be concerned.
Okay, Doodles 2 trailer. See you on the other side.
Data invalid.
Fuck yes.
Okay, so what you saw there, look, Pharrell. There's Pharrell influence in that. For the first time, we got some Pharrell influence.
Hey, at least, he's at least letting them license his music for an affordable amount. We know that. I would be, interested to know how much of this is being driven by Pharrell. It is very fashion focused, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that he's actually been pretty involved with and working on in the background. Everybody's been speculating / mad that there hasn't been more stuff, since the big Pharrell creative director, brand director announcement. So, this might have been something he was actually pretty involved in, because fashion has always been one of his focuses. And this does seem to be a big part of where they're going, is this sort of style, fashion, streetwear, aesthetic, getting to dress. We were kind of joking, calling them like dressing up your Barbie in different ways. That is kind of how it feels. So I don't know. Hopefully it's not just a cheap gimmick and they're just trying to get you to buy fucking wearables for a digital NFT. I don't know.
We're going to get into the micro on this, but this is the announcement, right? So Doodles came out this morning, with the announcement saying they're going to have Doodles 2 on Flow, which is essentially the meat of the story. In 2020, a new year means new opportunities and new adventures. In 2023, we're opening the gates so Doodles can live everywhere. Following last year's duplicator airdrop and Genesis box sale, we're ready for beta entry and the first example of utility within the Doodles 2 product experience, one that will ultimately allow you to create your own doodle built for you and by you at their core. Doodles are designed to be digital identities, expressions of ourselves, or rather how we see ourselves as we travel the internet, the blockchain, and daily life. We imagine bringing our doodles with us to all of our important places, both online and in the physical world. Doodles don't have limits, only possibilities. So, again, major announcement. Doodles is definitely a top-tier project. I would say it's B-list on our algorithmically based rate my bags, but I think it's one of the top projects in the space and a huge win, in my opinion, for Flow more than it is for Doodles themselves. Doodles could have launched Doodles 2 on Ethereum and probably done just as well. This is a bet on the future. Flow has a lot of potential when it comes to the brands that they already have on that platform. The business development team is the team behind fucking CryptoKitties, so they're OGs in the space. They've locked down NBA Top Shot, NFL, all this stuff. It's a bet on the future more than it is now.
So I agree with you that it's a big coup for Flow, and again, it's back to like what is the business development strategy for Polygon and Flow teams? Like again, it's like poaching some of the top brands to come and develop on their blockchains and their ecosystems. So I do think it's a big win. I agree with you there, but we also, again, let's remember, we don't have full transparency and may not for another couple of weeks on what this deal actually looks like. There might be a lot of money being granted here, a lot of marketing and promo, and they are going to automatically be one of the top dogs on whatever marketplaces, Dapper Labs, on the whole blockchain coming in like this. So they get a lot of benefit from this too, and we may not even know how much. The other thing that I just want to say really quickly is I do agree also on like Doodles being one of the bigger brands. And you see it here in the execution of this video. They have a very iconic style. It literally spun out into a million different derivatives and other projects, all trying to copy them because it's super, super iconic, really, really catchy, good looking. It's the color palette. It's the fat line with like the eyes. They've got a bunch of stuff, and to see that style coming to life in this animation, it made me more of a believer. Like this animation to me is great because I'm like, yo, this translates.
The art has always been.
Yeah, the art translates really well into animation, and these characters and the whole like world feels authentic to the Doodles brand. So this to me is actually a really, really good animation.
Yeah, this has always been the strength of Doodles, in my opinion. The art is very unique. It stands out, and it's implemented into a lot of really cool things that they can do.
I wonder if this is Golden Wolf, right? Because the other piece of headline that we talked about is they just acquired Golden Wolf, which is an award-winning animation studio. So I'm guessing this is part of that.
So a little more detail here that you have with the wearables. That's kind of what you get with Doodles too, the ability to like customize your doodle. But go ahead, Biggie.
No, I was gonna say this is great. Like I'm very curious to see or know if they got any inspiration. I mean, wearables have always been a thing, so no. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with Flovatars on Flow, that were the first to pioneer this particular concept of being able to swap the clothing and the look of your NFT on the Flow ecosystem. And so it's going to be really cool. I mean, I like the assets. The top-notch art. I almost want to say I like him better than the Doodles, but I think it's kind of part of it, right? Like Gen 1 is usually a little bit more OG in that particular respect, right?
Yes, agreed. I want to get into some of the other assets that they have related to these Doodles too as well, because there's a positive reaction that we didn't see from like a Gutter Cat Gang announcement, which was definitely not the same. Even just kind of mentioning them together is kind of a little. We're reaching there.
Well, that contrast, the contrast says a lot about where these communities are at.
This launch is the start of a transcendent new journey for the Doodles as we develop Doodles franchise, create experiences across music, animation, consumer products, live events, and more. We need an onboarding experience to our collectible ecosystem that is accessible, easy, and fun. And that's why Flow is the perfect partner. That comes directly from the Doodles announcement. Is that true? Is Flow the best for that?
It could have been Polygon. That's the other thing, right? Again, it's like that competition. These seem like the two more seamless, easier to onboard. I do think, Ethereum in general and Polygon to an extent have been not the easiest to get into. And so I think, part of Flow's whole thing is being a little bit more centralized. They are more centralized. They are a little bit more Web 2. And that seems to be their strategy. And so I do think that makes sense because if you're trying to really understand, again, without full transparency on what any sort of deal with Flow looks like, why they would move off of Ethereum, you have to ask a lot of questions. One of the things that came up is that it doesn't really make sense to be splitting your brand and your collection across multiple blockchains. Usually, it doesn't usually really help the experience. It makes it sort of siloed and disconnects and not as interoperable, and everything just doesn't come together as easily or integrate as easily as if it's all in one world or one blockchain, right? So it can create a really disjointed and disconnected experience for the community and make things way more complicated. And that's why you have to wonder, why are they doing this? And
Justin Casey's saying Flow definitely adds more of a real community vibe versus Polygon, which I think is a little bit up for debate. Where we're kind of looking at the volume. Okay, so we're in Crypto Slam again. As you can see, what we're looking at is Doodles going. This is 24 hours. We can zoom out, and Doodles would still have this large percentage increase. But Doodles, duplicators, and in the Genesis boxes, all are getting bids. Notice again, there's not really much Gutter Cat Gang. I'm going to stop bringing them up at this point. But just related to Doodles, we're seeing bids on all three assets within that ecosystem. Here's the other thing. Polygon and Flow over here on the right, it looks like there's more activity on Polygon at this point. There's more buyers. There's more transactions in a 30-day period. If you zoom out, there's Solana finally coming back to us. Double on Polygon, more than double on the buyer side. So double the transactions, double the buyers on Polygon right now.
Double the Degens.
Double the Degens for sure. Is that Reddit? I don't know. There wasn't much trading volume, on the Reddit community side at this point. But man, it's just it leads me to a lot of different, paths to think about this and unpack it. You were saying splitting up your collections. DGods is doing this on Solana.
Well,
they're moving to Polygon.
They're moving I think they're moving all of their stuff though together, aren't they?
You're right. There was some information that I needed based on what's going to happen to the old ones.
Either way,
were oh no, there's always going to be these version 1s.
Either way, a big reason why is because they're getting paid $3 million to do it, right? So again,
True.
I don't think we have the full transparency yet, but Flow might, I think at least ostensibly part of the reason why it might make sense is to be providing different on-ramps that are, different. But again, I think they could have gone with Polygon. I think that there's other ways. So I'm assuming there's some additional incentive.
Biggie, do you own Flow or Gifted? What Flow assets do you own?
Yeah,
I don't have any other than I bought some token at one point when I saw it was on Coinbase, and then I lost money moving it into ApeCoin because ApeCoin.
Yeah, I own. I still have some Flow. I don't. Obviously, I have plenty of assets from back in the heyday, from Top Shots and UFC Strike to more serious stuff like the Ben Mauro collection, right? Evolutions and some other stuff. Let's see how it plays out. I'm not discounting it. Again, it's not like all my bags are there, but yeah, I have a presence, let's just say, and I do remain bullish on it, very much, on the level of a Polygon or anything else. I don't think you can discount it just yet, right? Let's see.
This comes from the Doodles team. So why did we choose Flow? Frictionless on-chain app that lets mainstream fans customize their doodle without limits. They go into that frictionless discussion as it's related to newcomers, right? Create a wallet by signing into Gmail, buy wearables with credit cards, on-chain scalability, all of these things that the layer ones always try to get better than ETH. The programming language makes Doodles 2 customization meaningful on-chain. They talked about the Dapper Labs team as well. So those are all kind of the reasons they at least voiced on why they chose Flow. Marty McFly saying, customize your doodle for what? Your wallet, question mark. I mean, we just sat up here and talked about customizable NFTs for the last 2 days and why more and more artists are going that way. So, like, customizable NFTs are going to be
and this is a subsector of like this is a subsector also of like what people are starting to call like interactive NFTs, right? Like, you know, this is a little more along like the PFP gaming front, right, where you can dress up your avatar, right? But on the generative front, there's also a lot of like interactivity being promoted, and I'm bullish on it. I think it's cool. I think it's like it's the obvious next step or progression, right, to these NFTs. Keep an eye out on them.
Here's what I got a question I want to get to you both before we round out the episode here. Here's what Dapper Labs, the team behind Flow, is good at. Mass adoption, at least as it's relative to the space at the time. CryptoKitties was one of the first mass adopted NFTs. Then they followed that up with NBA Top Shot 3 years later. The thing that they're really bad at is return on investment for their investors. And that's why Marty's saying no one has any because Flow sucks.
True.
First of all, wrong. Yes. Flow. I own fucking Flow. Biggie, you own Flow. If you were around in 2021, you owned likely some NBA Top Shots. If you were around in 2017 and you gave a shit about NFTs, guess what you own? CryptoKitties. So to say Flow sucks is, not correct. To say Flow sucks at return on investment for their investors over the long period, fuck yeah.
Well, what is your major metric in the space? I mean, one
now,
of them
how
is
long has
success.
One of them is art. One of them is art.
NBA Top Shot was a success.
Well, did you get a return? I don't know.
CryptoKitties was a success. You cannot sit here on this show and say CryptoKitties and NBA Top Shot were not successes for their time. They're literally why we're sitting here today.
Yeah. Depends how you define success, but if you look at it in terms of the size, the volume, like what it accomplished, I think you could call it a success on many metrics. But again, like what's the value of a CryptoKitty today, though? Like, to your point, right? So long-term success, maybe not.
Okay, but CryptoKitties was on Ethereum, right? And the reason Flow was developed was especially because of their experience with CryptoKitties. And let's not forget, like when Ethereum came out, it wasn't instantly a money gusher success, right? Like other than the speculation on the token, stuff being built on top of it took some time. So give Flow some time, right? Like it's how long has it been building or up and running? What, a year and a half? Okay, I get it. Yes, it has not been the Solana that everybody expected, but it's a cockroach. It's been surviving. It's been iterating. It's been onboarding significant IP. These guys don't just, well, sometimes they do just throw money at everything, but I still think we need to give it a fair shake. Let's see what comes.
But can Flow be successful long term? Like, I think Flow will be here for a while. I do think it's got that cockroach sort of aspect to it. But can Flow succeed long term if they can't find ways to create utility and value for collectors, right? Like, if it's just like, hey, here's a new shiny object, give us more money. And then onto the next big shiny object to give us more money. That might work for them, but like eventually people are all just going to be like, I'm tapped out. It's like I can't keep buying into this. It's just digital crap at that point. If there's no anything there, it's just digital crap. And then it's like a VV, right? Like where's VV at? I'm curious. I don't know.
I think a lot of this has to do with VV is a whole other thing. I don't want to get on a hill that I'm going to die for with VV. Trust me, I'll be fucking storming that
for
hill
life,
trying to kill that person. Dude, NFTGO with the category market cap. Guess what the largest? Again, we see this every fucking day at this point, which gives us insight. PFPs are by far and away the largest. Sports are by far and away the lowest. I don't know if this is just taking into account, again, ETH volume, but that's why
This
it's
is
such a
just
big
ETH.
win.
NFTGO is just ETH.
Like,
Okay, so that's why it's such a big win for Flow, because they don't have a PFP community. They don't. They just don't. So having Flow over there gets this started. Maybe you start to have a couple projects that actually have return on investment for their fucking users.
And like, let's not forget, like that chart that we're seeing, like it's generalized, right? Because I bet you a lot of that volume or that metric is comprised of stuff like apes, right? Which, okay, yeah, sure, apes are a PFP project, are they? I see a lot of people playing a video game with them right now, and there's going to be digital avatars. They're a lot more than just a JPEG that you use for, you know, your Twitter avatar. So just take that with a grain of salt too, right? Same thing with Moonbird, same thing with Azuki. Like these PFP projects have functionality, and the projects that create them have more things in store for them that they'll be building for them down the line. So it's funny when I see something like that, like PFP projects are like the ones taking up all the space. Well, I don't know, like, you know, the other deeds,
Now.
all this, yeah, for now, right? Like it's a very generalized point of view, right? It depends on how you're attacking it. I get what they're trying to do and say, but take it with a grain of salt.
Yep. All right, folks, we just hit 2 hours. GIF, I wanted to show you this real quick here as we round out the episode. Appreciate you guys tuning in the entire time. This is basically the NFTs on Flow, right? You see the UFC's top shots, but as you scroll down, I mean, it's tough to get a look.
I didn't know Agrasuko was in it. You need to go get me.
You have some Bears.
Ballers
was big.
Bears.
But Ballers was a big project at the time.
Was it?
Let's see. Yeah, it was made by some guys on the Wax chain.
Holy shit! So DickPix is less than 100 fucking things to mint out.
It's gonna mint out, baby.
It's gonna mint out.
Thanks for checking back on that. I wanted to check back and see if it minted out while we were live. So not quite, but it's getting close.
Less than 100. That's insane. Oh man, it'll be really funny if like later on today or tomorrow we start like going into our Twitter feed and it's just a bunch of dick pics all over the place. It'll be a really good experience, like onboarding experience for everybody else. See, this is what you get.
Or everybody saying that they got hacked because they were minting fucking dick pics. That would be the story to end all stories. That would be literally like the nail in the coffin of the entire NFT space, is if a bunch of people get fucking hacked and rugged and have all their collections stolen because they minted dick pics. It would be the headline to end all fucking headlines. And like, you know what? Here's the thing.
This is a serious face, people.
Well, what's really unfortunate about like another really high profile person getting taken for millions of, you know, potentially $1 million plus worth of assets and, you know, their whole livelihood with this Kevin Rose hack exploit. We got to quit calling them fucking hacks. What's really unfortunate is that, to me, again, this is such a big issue for mainstream adoption in the space that is not getting solved fast enough. And the longer it gets carried out, it adds more weight and legitimacy to crazy fucking regulation ideas like what New Jersey's doing, where they're saying you need to get a fucking license to own and trade NFTs. Because we've got to solve this problem ourselves. Otherwise, other people are going to force solutions onto this shit, right? And that's what's really upsetting is like, I'm looking at this New Jersey shit like, oh, I get why somebody would think it's a good idea to fucking have to get a license to buy and trade NFTs when it's this ridiculous and people just keep getting robbed.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when we don't self-regulate. I mean, or we just have kind of a Wild West scenario. I don't honestly know what the solution is. Just better hygiene when it comes to security personally.
I think that's part of it, but I think anonymous wallets are like, we've got to figure out something to do about identity and anonymity and how we're interacting with anonymous contracts and wallets and shit. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
If folks, yeah, this is it's a hard combo, man. It's not easy.
Guys, for those of you that tune in for the entire 2 hours and 8 minutes, y'all are fantastic. Listen, we love bringing the news in the Web3 and NFT space to y'all every day. We'd appreciate it if you could definitely like the video. That would definitely help us get it out, obviously. But really, man, like it's awesome. Like Marty, Justin, Nox Darkness, Prodigy. Who do we have? Who's your buddy? Was it Pablo?
Yeah, Pablo's.
Yo, we even had some Twitch. We had some homies on Twitch chiming in and getting into the mix today. Love that. Shout out
Santino, Asmodai. Y'all killed it today. I appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow with Ronan the Collector. Ronan's definitely hopping on tomorrow, so definitely be there. Pablo, we see you in that the Twitch chat as well. Our Vibe, our tribe, man. I'll let Biggie and Gifted take us out of here, but again, we will be here tomorrow. There was a Doodles Spaces, so if you go to Doodles Twitter profile, you can check that Spaces out with Roham from Flow as well. So the combo Spaces there might give us some good information. So check that out. Our Vibe, our tribe. Biggie first, Gifted next, and then we'll get out of here.
Stay safe. Don't be minting shit you shouldn't be. I know it's a little contradictory after we talk about the fix, but honestly, just stay vigilant. Shout out to Pablo for bringing in a lot of valuable alpha during the show, and we'll see you tomorrow. Love you.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow morning. GM Web3 bright and early on the Twitter Spaces, and then here for the last NFT Live of the week. All I gotta say, other than our Vibe, our tribe, is Jacob, we're sorry.
So sorry.
We're sorry, Jacob.
Don't buy dick pics. Don't buy them.
Too late.